Welcome to the CompCalc Plus 2019 Support and Training video series for the MacOS users. My name is Richard Montalvo. For the next 10 minutes, I'll be going through some of the advanced tips and techniques within the CompCalc Plus macOS version that the user may not even be aware exists. I'll also be discussing some of the algorithms and how we did what we did and why we decided to go the way in which we did to calculate some of these. Primarily, that's going to involve our life pension and total awards, applying COLA and PV calculations. So you know what the numbers are doing and how the algorithms work. First of all, a quick disclaimer. The CompCalc is an estimator, not a calculator. It's not the intent of Richard Montalvo nor the law office of Richard Montalvo to create an attorney-client relationship, nor provide legal opinion, analysis, or advice. Last, all users of the CompCalc are instructed to verify all information and data with an attorney or with the Disability Evaluation Unit, the DEU. Okay, let's go ahead and get started so that I can show you some of what I think are some of the neater features. We're going to go into the CompCalc. And if you made it this far, you are to be commended. You can see it comes up in a neutral position because before I left, last time I was doing rating, I went ahead and I cleared everything out. Okay, let's get started. The first thing that I didn't show you on the rating module, or I really didn't go into, is the ability to show occupational groups. Now, I touched on this a little bit merely by tapping here. But one of the things that you can do is you can show and switch between the two by tapping up here. And you can go from occupational industries and the associated occupations to the different occupational groups. Honestly, that was an oversight on my part. I meant to go over that. I didn't do that, but you're getting that information here. Emojis and symbols. You can go ahead and we've set up a full emoji input on your emails just for fun when you export. So that's always available. You know, you can see which ones I use most, the crazy ones. So anyway, all the emojis, full libraries are here for your use. That's pretty fun, huh? Let's see what else I want to demonstrate for you here. Okay, that's it for the PD rating module. Now here we've got a number of really cool features. First of all, note that I've put information that I think is important that we should be able to get our fingers on. Sites, code, labor code sections, my analysis. This is all from the Work Comp Index, a topical guide. I expanded it a little bit more here, but that's all there. One of the things that I didn't go over with you in much detail is the COLA calculation. Now, of course, that's a unicorn going across there because it's difficult, especially if not impossible under standard rating to get to 100%. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. And I want to explain this to you so that you understand the algorithm so that you don't underestimate or overestimate. It'll be an underestimation, if anything. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a date of injury. And the age is the age of the applicant upon first payment of the indemnity benefit. And here, because we're talking about 100%, we're talking about TD for life. Okay, so let's say he's 55. Now, the way I want to explain the COLA calculation to you, and we're going to put it at 3.5. We're going to put it at 1.25. Now, you can see the way that I calculated this is I took the COLA calculation and I decided what the PD rate was based on life expectancy, given the age at first payment and gender, using 2010 census data, how long the applicant would live. Then on a monthly basis, I created an array for each monthly calculation and applied an inflationary rate in this hypothetical of 3.5, increasing the value from the future value to the COLA value. I don't have the PV value yet, just the COLA value. And I went all the way up to his full, if he's 55 and he's going to live another 25 years, what is that, 80 years? About a little over 80 years of age, this man is expected to live. And then, once I had all these numbers calculated applying the COLA, I then applied a PV discount rate to each one based on the time period, coming back down, and now I've got an adjusted in each cell of the COLA inflationary rate with the PV discount rate, and then I just aggregated them all. So I wanted everybody to understand how that works, because you've got really two calculations over time that have to apply. The COLA calculation, increasing it, and then you've got the PV discount rate, decreasing it. Now you might say, why do we even apply a PV discount rate? Because the cost of money is really the COLA inflationary rate. Well, that's not the case, because associated with that COLA increase inflationary rate is an opportunity cost to the carrier, and that opportunity cost is reflected by the PV discount rate. And that's how you apply the present value, future value COLA calculation of a life pension over a given period of time. So anyway, we played with a number of modifications to our algorithm, and I think that this is the best estimate for the purpose of calculating the present value COLA of a life pension award based on max PD rates. Now remember, you can always modify this by putting in a different, let's say he only makes $900. So his PV rate is going to be what? $600. And it's going to reduce it dramatically by well over a third, almost 40% on the COLA present value calculation. So, but look at how quick that was to come up with those numbers. So if you're at the board or you're doing an analysis letter to your client, I used to do all this calculation. First, it was handheld when I came into the industry with a handheld calculator. I used the Business Analyst, TI Business Analyst 1 and 2. And so I had to calculate all these individually. Then I started, my major change was when Excel came out, and it had a lot of these formulas built in, and I set up a spreadsheet to do it. Now we have it in the CompCalc, and it just makes it so simple for us to do now. So, okay, one thing that you should know is that you're able to export to PDF. And I demonstrated that. Let's say this is still Robert. And let's say the case number is ADJ and some ones, and we can put in a social security number, 543. I hope this is nobody's. I'm just putting in some numbers. I don't think that can be anybody's number. And then we can put some notes in, and we're gonna save it to a PDF. And you can see it automatically formats it. We're gonna put this on the desktop. And we save it away, and now we can go in, and of course here's Acrobat Pro, and here's my COLA calculation. Okay, and of course I showed you this before. You have to have be on the CompCalc. You can go ahead and print it. It'll automatically format your email, etc. Okay, so that's the COLA calculation. For those of you who disagree with the way in which I did that algorithm, what I would say to you is if you have an MBA or better, give me a call. If you don't have at least an MBA, I think you're wrong. Anyway, okay, let's talk about temporary disability and the date calculator. The one thing I want to stress here in advanced tips and techniques is this right here. Calculation includes date of injury but excludes end date. This is per the labor code, but this only applies where you have an ending date to the TD period. Okay, so I want all applicant attorneys to understand that if you're calculating a period of TD and it's an ongoing period, you want to go ahead and increase the end date by 1 day to get the accurate amount. I just don't want somebody to misunderstand how that algorithm works. I think that's important. Life pension. Now, life pension is, and you can see we went ahead and we gave you the life pension calculation pursuant to Labor Code Section 4659. I provide you with some information out of my book. And let's go to the PV COLA calculator. Now, here's what I want you to understand about this. This is the way that we wrote the algorithms. The future value is just whatever that future stream of payments are going to be. The future value of the PD, the future value of the life pension, based on age at first payment. Of course, it's so huge right here. Why? Because the guy's 1 year of age. So you always want to make sure that you set this according to what his age is. And we're going to say it's a 60-year-old female. Okay? You can see she's expected to live to be about 84, almost 85, 84 and a half years of age. We have average weekly wage of, that's going to give her a max PD rate. We see what her future value of her life pension is given the date of injury. But I want you to understand that we only apply the present value to the PD, but not the COLA to the PD, because there's no COLA increase of the PD. There is a COLA increase of the life pension. There's also a present value discount rate on the life pension. And I provide you with the number of years that we're going to pay out the PD, the number of years, because we pay that out first. So if she's 60 when we make the first payment, she's going to be 70 before she receives a life pension. Then those life pension payments are going to continue until she reaches almost age 60, 85, another 13.63 years. So I just wanted to explain how that algorithm worked so that you... and of course, you can put whatever COLA or PV and quarter increases. One other thing, I didn't discuss this, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly. Now, the difference is that these calculations, the most accurate is going to be a monthly calculation. The least accurate is going to be an annual calculation. But understand that because of the PV discount rate, a monthly calculation is going to be in the defense attorney's advantage and the defendant's. An annual calculation is going to be in the applicant's advantage, and that has to do with the way that the numbers behave applying the PV discount rate. Okay. We're not going to go through any of the rest of these. They're obvious, but I want to go into configuration just a little bit so we can take a look at this screen so you can see what this does. What this allows you to do, some people, your eyes react to different colors and different backgrounds and different textures differently. What this allows you to do is play with all the options, and if you get to a place where you want to start over, just remember that you have this default value here, okay? And you can see what all the icons, you can go darker, lighter, none, default, okay? If you go darker and you don't like it and you want to go back to default values, you just hit default values at the bottom, okay? So, and you can do whatever you want for the background. You can put it wherever you want. Oh boy, isn't that... Go back to default values. I'm going to close this out. Okay, and I haven't gone over that, but the reason we put that in is because the DEU hopefully will adopt this over the other programs that are competing, wanted to be able to modify it, the import-export, as well as display features easily, and that's why we did what we did here for them, and it's across all of the different support and training. One of the things I want to point out here that I haven't gone over is writing a review. This will connect you to the App Store. Now, I'm not hooked into the internet because I didn't want to be disturbed during this presentation, but otherwise it allows you to also, you can go to our website, and let's just go ahead and turn this on so that we can end up at our website. I'm up at my ranch, that's why you see Hughes. And this takes you to montarbolaw.com on the internet. And you can see satellite dish Hughes services up here are not the fastest in the world, but it is a struggle that we deal with. Takes quite a while to load everything. Okay. And of course here is the Work Comp Index, a topical guide to the law of California workers' compensation. We'll be updating this. I'm doing this lecture months before the release date. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I want to. Okay, I think that's probably everything. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to give me a call. As I indicate at the conclusion of each one of these videos, if you have something that you want to be added that you think would be of assistance, let me know. I pay for good ideas, especially always if I incorporate them. So, okay, thanks for listening and watching, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.